Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode of Living in 64116, where we introduce you to the businesses and organizations just north of the river and the role they play in making the Northland such a great place to live and work and play and raise a family. Hey, I just noticed that we've got a bond issue coming up that we're going to go to the polls and vote for coming up in April. So I thought maybe we need to know what that bond issue is about. So today we're going to talk to the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Dan Clemens, to find out about what's happening with the bond issue. Dr. Clemens, Dan the Man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, my kids call you Dan the Man. Is that just a hashtag, or is that actually your handle on Twitter?
It became a hashtag around snow days,
yeah.
Right? So when we call snow, oftentimes I get hashtag Dan the Man with all my face all over different celebrities. It's a great time. I love the interaction with the kids.
I would imagine hashtag Dan the Man is trending in Kansas City every time it snows.
It is trending, yeah. I will say they're not as favorable when we do go to school, though, than they are when we're able to cancel.
That's right. I can imagine. So what we want to talk about is the upcoming bond issue that we're going to vote on when?
April 7th.
April 7th is when we're going to vote on it. So tell us about it. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, really, North Kansas City is experiencing two issues right now. One is that we're experiencing a lot of growth in our student population. And two, we have some buildings that were built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s that are really starting to show their age.
Like the one that we're in. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Absolutely, yeah. So overall, what we're trying to do as a Board of Education, as a community, is really start to bring up some of our older schools so that they are very comparable to some of the new ones we built in the Northland, or up north, and then in addition, start building additional schools to manage the growth.
Okay. Well, I'm wearing my Northtown purple, so I know that we just spent a lot of money down there in Northtown.
Absolutely, and I love the purple. I love the socks that you have on
today. We'll get a picture of the socks in a minute.
But absolutely, we just invested $65 million in the North Kansas City High School, and we're preparing that for the next generations of kids. You know, that building was built in 1923, and we had some metal panels around the outside holding the brick to the main area. We actually still had some clay sewer lines that needed to be addressed. So what we were able to do is invest that money in that building, and now we have one of the best high schools in the state.
And that was a bond issue, but that's the same thing that we're going to be doing in April, isn't that correct?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah. We're able to bond $155 million without a tax increase, and the reason we're able to do that is we paid off a lot of the debt that occurred when we built Staley.
Okay.
And so as we pay that debt off, we have the ability to reissue that debt and then to make improvements throughout the rest of the district.
I see. So that's why I've heard it said that this is a no tax increase bond issue.
Yes.
We have the bonding capacity to just do the next thing, whatever it is that we needed.
Yes, sir. We'll keep our levy rate at $1.29, our debt service rate at $1.29, and that'll allow us to pay off between $25 and $30 million worth of debt each year.
I see.
So we won't need to increase that levy rate in order to pay off this $155 million worth of bonds.
Okay, so give me some ideas across the district. What are we talking about? What kind of projects are going to get done?
Yeah, we have some really exciting projects coming up. We're going to replace Davidson Elementary School. As we had our architects and engineers in, they said that school is in the worst condition of any of our elementary schools district-wide. So we're going to replace it on the same site, and then we'll tear down the old building and make it our parking lot playground.
Okay.
We're going to do a very similar project at Maplewood Elementary School. Both of those are older neighborhoods, older schools that just need some renovation and some replacement in order to make it work for that.
Okay.
A couple other exciting projects we have is when Staley was built, we had about 17,000 kids. Now we're up around 21,000 students, and it just doesn't work with two district stadiums anymore.
How long has Staley been around?
Staley's year 10.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It seems like it was yesterday. Staley's getting built 10 years ago.
If you want to hear something crazy, in another 7 years, they expect us to have 2,700 kids in that attendance area, which is 1,000 more than what we currently have. And so we're going to put an academic addition on to Staley High School, as well as complete the two stadiums at Oak Park and Winnetonka, so that the students that attend those schools have the equitable facility piece that they do at Northtown Staley.
Okay. How much money altogether? This bond issue is how much?
$155 million.
$155 million, all within our current bonding capacity. No tax increase, no levy increase, I guess is what it would be called.
Right. Absolutely.
And we vote on the 7th.
Yes.
Okay. So I know that we're standing here in Briarcliff Elementary School.
Right.
And so being that we're in 64116, I want to talk to you a little bit about Briarcliff. And then, of course, Crestview is also in 64116, right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that, but let's talk about that next week.
All right.
All right. Well, to have you come back.
Thanks for the time.
You bet. Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode of Living in 64116. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please like it and comment on it. Most importantly, share it so more people can learn about the bond issue that's coming up in April. I'll tell you what, though, if you do give me the little red heart and you comment on it and you share it, then I'll put your name in a drawing and we will give you a pair of the North Kansas City School District fancy socks, and I'll even get them signed by Dan the Man. We'll see you next week.